Monday through Friday at 2:15 Eastern Time, doing live free football picks for you, soccer picks as well here on our show from our expert handicapper Paul Legredos. Before we get to him, just remind you a few things about our promo code. You can save 20% off all premium pick packages. When you use that promo code TonyT at checkout, you can access our page by clicking the link in the description. Then click the All Cappers tab to get signed up. We'd also would love to hear from you guys, so be sure to go ahead and post your picks here in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to visit our site, Tony'sPicks.com. We're a multi-capper site showcasing our top cappers in the industry. So click the link to the hot cappers and get signed up for the long-term passes. And you can see some of our hot cappers up on the site. We have a best bet tab here. If you're looking for the best bet from each capper, just click the best bet tab. You'll find them here from our cappers. They can designate one free best bet per sport per day on the site. You'll see Nick has a couple of them up there. Right now, Paul has a best bet going on for Tuesday. So go ahead and get signed up. Also, we've added the $15 premium pick. Each capper can designate one of those per day from their card just to introduce you to their service. And you'll see that Nick has one up there as well. Paul, that $15 premium pick. And something we just added recently is our 3-pack, and that's a really good value pack. If you're looking for a good value, get the 3-pack from our cappers, and as all their 3-packs will show up there on the site. So you choose your best bet, you want a 15 individual pick, or the best value there is the 3-pack, as the cappers will package their 3 best plays for you here in a package, affordably priced. Of course, they're all profit guaranteed here. If they don't turn a profit, the amount you purchase is credit back to your account. For side credits, that's what profit guarantee means. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get underway here with Soccer Sailors. Welcome in. Paul Legredos is ready for this big week of professional soccer, European football here out in Europe. But let's bring him in right now. Paul, how's it going today?
We have the biggest competition in Europe going live in about 1 day from now, 24 hours to go. We're talking about the Champions League, where all the big teams are clashing against one another, and they're clashing against, some really, teams who won the title in their domestic leagues, but they're, teams from all over Europe. You don't expect them to win, but they cause a lot of upsets. This is the most exciting competition for European soccer. Now, I have 5 plays from the Champions League tomorrow. Keep in mind that they have matches at 12:45 p.m. Eastern and then at 3 p.m. Eastern. I have plays for both time zones. I have an early and a late play. And first, I'm going to give you guys some leans that I really think they're going to change. I think the lines are going to change in the next couple of hours. Again, these are just leans, and my premium plays have already been loaded at the page.
All right, so let's get it underway here with Soccer Sailors here, joined by Paul Legredos. All UEFA Champions League action for Tuesday. Really good card here for Tuesday's action as we get into the European action here for our show today. Let's get it underway. We get started here with Champions League action for Tuesday, 12:45 Eastern Time, as Bayern Munich takes on Plzen.
Yeah, Bayern Munich, they weren't in the best of forms to start the season. They had a lot of draws in the Bundesliga, followed by a loss against Augsburg. There were a lot of, talks starting to happen regarding the coach's future. But after the international break, they emerged victorious by 4-0 against Leverkusen, who are a really good side. And I think they're going to keep it up against Plzen here in the early match of the Champions League, 12:45 p.m. Eastern. Plzen, they're a tricky side, and I wouldn't be surprised if they managed to score against Bayern Munich's defense, but anything other than a Bayern Munich win would be a huge upset. But I'm not sure if they're going to cover. They have a -3 on the handicap, which, they could be winning 4-0 at halftime, but this Plzen side could really make things hard for them. I wouldn't be surprised again if Plzen got on the score sheet here, but I do expect Bayern Munich to win. So we're going to take a same game parlay here, Bayern Munich money line and over 4.5 goals at -102. I think that's a great way to approach this.
All right, Paul, I got his finest picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. UEFA Champions League here for Tuesday, 12:45 Eastern Time. Bayern Munich and Plzen. In this one, he likes Bayern Munich money line and over 4.5 goals. Return -102. All right, you guys are tuned in Soccer Daily. Guys, join us Monday through Friday here at 2:15 Eastern Time. Make sure to like, subscribe, set notifications. Be live with us. So when we give you those picks, you can bet on them and get the best numbers. And sometimes these games start the same day and sometimes within minutes. So it's very important to be live with us here on the show. Let's continue on here with Soccer Daily here, joined by Paul Legredos. As we continue on, UEFA Nations League action for Tuesday, 12:45 Eastern Time. We have Marseille taking on Sporting.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting match because it's the league leaders, the group leaders actually, who are Sporting with 2 wins in 2 matches. They're hosted by Marseille, who have 2 losses in the first 2 matches. So it's top, mid, bottom. The hosting side, Marseille, have lost both matches. They're under a lot of pressure right now. They haven't scored a single goal in this group. While Sporting, they've won both matches, scored 5 goals, didn't concede a single goal. They beat Tottenham and Frankfurt, 2 very good sides. And Sporting, they look like they have this top spot locked up. Of course, it's way too early to make these discussions. However, here's the deal. Sporting, they're missing a couple of key players from the squad, and mainly one of their starting center backs, and that creates a lot of problems to the coach, who is probably going to have to use a very inexperienced guy to fill the gap, or a player out of position. Now, this Sporting defense hasn't been the best so far in the season, and Marseille, they could really hurt them. And Marseille, as I said, they haven't scored a single goal in this group. It's now time for them to find the first goal, because they're under a lot of pressure. They have 0 points after 2 matches, and they're gonna failing to win here. It's probably gonna doom them to finish last in this group. So I expect both teams to get on the score sheet, because Marseille, they have a slightly better defense than Sporting, but Sporting, they could really hurt you if you're not careful. So I like both teams to score -135 here.
All right, Paul, like one of those finest picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. This is action here for Tuesday, UEFA Nations League, Champions League here. We got Marseille and Sporting going head-to-head. He likes both teams to score. The return, a -135. All right, you guys are tuned to Stop Excel here, joined by Paul But if you're looking for Paul's best bets, guys, take a visit over at Tony'sPicks.com right now and get on board. Paul's been on a great run here with his best bets over here at Tony'sPicks.com. It's also documented 32, 13, and 4, his past 49 best bets over at Tony's Picks. So get on board. Action right now here from Champions League. His best bets right now on the board. So get on board. Also Monday mid-afternoon, midday game going on as well. So a lot of action from Paul. And of course, use that promo code TonyT at checkout, and you will be able to save 20% off. All right, let's continue on here with Soccer Sally here, joined by Paul. Next up, we continue here with UEFA Champions League action here for Tuesday, 3 Eastern time. We have Ajax taking on Napoli.
Yeah, this is going to be a very exciting match to watch. I expect a lot of goals. Ajax, they didn't emerge from the international break in the best possible manner. They had a 1-1 draw against the Eagles in their domestic league, but that result was because they used mostly reserves. And why did they use reserves? First of all, because they have an upcoming Champions League match against Napoli, which is super important. And the second reason is that they had a lot of players in national teams, and most of these players, they played a couple of matches and a lot of minutes, so they needed to be rested so they can be fresh against this upcoming match against Napoli in the Champions League. Now, Napoli are leading the group with 6 points. They've won both their matches. They beat Liverpool in that amazing 4-1 in the opener, and then they beat Rangers. Now, Ajax, they're sitting at the third spot with 3 points. They're looking for some points here against Napoli. They have a really good, even though they sold off a lot of their players in the off-season to Manchester United and all the big clubs in Europe, they still have a lot of talent in their squad, and especially up front. And with all these players, most of them getting rested over the weekend, I think they're going to come back with a bang. And Napoli, they've been stellar so far in the season, unbeaten across all competitions, coming into this match with 6 consecutive wins. Their offense is really, really good, even though they're missing Osimhen, who's their key striker, but they found goals from every possible angle. I mean, this is a very, very nice team. This Napoli is having a really, really strong season so far. Now, I do see goals here, so I'm going to take the combination of both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at -135.
All right, Paul, everybody's finest picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. UEFA Champions League action for Tuesday here, 3 Eastern time. We have Ajax and Napoli. In this one, he has both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. Return -135. All right, you guys are tuned to Stop Daily. Join us here Monday through Friday at 2:15 Eastern time. Like, subscribe, set notifications so you're live with us. So when you get these picks, you'll get the best numbers when you place your bets. Let's continue on here with Stop Daily here. We're joined by Paul Lagaredos as we're getting ready here for our next game. We go to UEFA Champions League here for Tuesday, 3 Eastern, times Monday. We got Porto taking on Leverkusen.
I blame UEFA for naming all the competitions like really similarly. So yeah, well, we have Porto versus Leverkusen, two teams that the better team on paper is Leverkusen, but the better team actually by how they played so far in the season is Porto. And Porto, they lost in the opener against Atletico Madrid by 2-1 with all three goals in the final. In the stoppage time, in the final 10 minutes of the match. Then they lost to Club Breeze by 4-0. So Porto, they're sitting at the bottom of this group with 0 points, under a lot of pressure, and I expect them to bounce back. They weren't in very good shape prior to the international break, but we usually see teams who are struggling prior to the international break, and then you have the break, and when they come back from the break, something has happened, something magical. They perform a lot better. Now Porto, they played against Braga, who are also having a really nice season in Portugal, are one of the big names. Porto beat them by 4-1, so they're full of confidence right now. They're playing in front of the home crowd, and Bayern Leverkusen, they're coming off a 4-0 loss to Bayern Munich, and they've won just 2 of their 12 matches in all competitions so far in the season. There's something seriously wrong with this Leverkusen side in the season, and that's because they're missing 2 of their key players. Bellarabi and Wirtz are 2 of their most creative players. They're playmakers. So without them, they can't really perform. So I like Porto to get their first win in the group stage. I'm leaning towards Porto money line plus 110. I would love to see the lineups first before actually betting on this one.
All right, Polygon's finest picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. UEFA Champions League here for Tuesday, 3 p.m. each time. Porto and Leverkusen. And this one, he likes Porto moneyline plus 100. All right, you guys are tuned in. Stop Daily here. I'm joined by Paulie West. If you missed any of our picks, we'll do a complete recap here at the end of the show. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here with the show. It is now time here for pick 5 from our 5-pack UEFA Champions League action for Tuesday, 3 Eastern time. Inter Milan taking on Barcelona.
Yeah, Inter Milan, they're not having a really good season so far. They just lost to Roma at home by 2-1. In their last match, they lost to Udinese by 3-1 prior to the break. In the Champions League, they lost to Bayern Munich by 2-0. They do get to beat all the teams that are smaller than them, but they do seem to struggle a lot against teams who are better than them. And Barcelona, they have a lot. If Barcelona didn't have so many absences due to injuries, Barcelona, they sent, I think, 15 or 16 players in the international break to various national teams, and some of them came back with injuries, and most of them are defenders. So if they didn't have so many injuries, that money line would be way lower. I think right now it's kind of low considering the situation, but Inter Milan have given me reasons to fade them. However, even in their losses, Inter Milan, they do score. And Barcelona, they have a lot of firepower up front with Lewandowski, and their defense is kind of, it's missing a few key players. So I do see goals here, so I'm going to take the combination of both teams to score and over 2.5 goals, minus 113.
All right, Polygon's finest picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. UEFA Champions League action for Tuesday, Inter Milan and Barcelona. In this one, he likes both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. The return, minus 113. All right, you guys are tuned to Stop Daily here. Join us here Monday through Friday at 2:15 Eastern Time. Like and subscribe, set notifications to be notified when we're live so you can get the best numbers when you place your bets from these great picks from our expert handicapper, Paul Aguedo. So, all right, Paul, before we do the recap, why don't you let everybody know what you have going on at Tony'sPicks.com. It is a busy week in European soccer here as we've got Europa League action as well as in action, hit into the Big 5 again in the weekend. Great results here with your best bets. 32, 13, and 4 past 49 best bets, all documented over at Tony'sPicks.com. We have a best bet documenter up there as the cappers can designate a pick per day as their best bet per sport, and he's performing big on this one. So, Paul, what do you have going over at Tony's Picks?
Okay, I have one play going live in about 25 minutes from now. Guaranteed midday, 5 p.m. Eastern, play in the Premier League, and a match between Leicester City and Nottingham. And I do have a couple of plays for tomorrow. Tomorrow we have Champions League matches in a couple of time zones. So I have an early 12:45 p.m. Eastern Champions League smart play of the day. And I have a midday 3 p.m. Champions League best bet. Of course, all of this are live at the page. You can, of course, buy them now before maybe the prices, the money lines and the totals change. So I have these 3 plays for now. I'm going to be loading more plays tomorrow because I need to gather all the data from what happened over the weekend, because there's a lot of matches to dissect and a lot of teams are very, very cautious on what news they allow to the public. So there's going to be a lot of research tomorrow. So stick around, maybe buy a 3-day pass or a 7-day pass, and you'll get all the Champions League plays, all the Europa League plays, Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga, League One, you name it. MLS on the weekend. We have decision day in the MLS on the weekend. The final match day of the regular season. There is a lot at stake, and there is a lot of plays. A lot of value to be taken advantage of in the MLS. So grab it now and you'll get the best prices, because the prices will change on those matches.
That's right, guys. I get with Polyglots over at Tony'sPicks.com. 32, 13, and 4 last 49 best bet premiums document over at Tony'sPicks.com. Also, unit leader here for 2022 at Tony'sPicks.com. So good time to get on board with Paul. And Monday night best bet 5 Eastern time starts, so hurry up and get on this one a couple hours before kickoff here. So get on board with it right now from Paul Legredos on a best bet going off over for today's action. Also, action is, as Paul mentioned, about a best bet here from the Tuesday Champions League. Also, an early riser here in the Champions League as well. So 3 big plays up there. Or if you prefer, you can go long-term with Paul. The long-term passes will serve you well. A 7-day pass, a weekly all-sports pass will get you all of Paul's plays for 7 days. He'll be in action here with all the Champions League action for the midweek, as well as heading into the Big 5 in Europe for the weekend. So 7 days of premium plays right now on the 7-day all-sports pass will save you some money. You can save 20% off all premium pick packages when you use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You can access Paul's page by clicking the link in the description, clicking the All Cappers tab, and getting signed up. Of course, you could use that promo code in any of the plays. If you just want to buy all the individual plays, all the best bets, you can do that and just bundle that together and use the promo code. You want to buy a longer term pass, 30-day pass, a 1-year pass. Remember, this is a World Cup year. We're getting closer and closer to the World Cup, right? November is just around the corner here, guys. So good time to get on board here with that 1-year all sports pass. And of course, use that promo code TonyT at checkout to save your 20% off. You can access Paul's page by clicking the link in the description, then click the All Cappers tab and get signed up. All right, let's continue on here with Sophie Still here, joined by Paul Legredos. And Paul, now it is time for the recap.
Okay, these are all Champions League plays for Tuesday, starting in the early time zone, 12:45 p.m. Eastern. Bayern Munich versus Plzen. We're going to take a same game parlay of Bayern Munich money line and over 4.5 goals, minus 102. Marseille versus Sporting, both teams to score, minus 135. Moving to the 3 p.m. Eastern time zone, where Ajax versus Napoli, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals, pays minus 135. I love that prop. Porto versus Leverkusen at 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to take Porto money line at plus 110. And then final play, 3 p.m. Eastern again, the big match of the night, Inter Milan versus Barcelona. We're going to take a same game parlay of both teams to score and over 2.5 goals, minus 113.
There you go, from Paul Legredos. His plays are 5-game plays from Paul, so make sure you get on board there. Also, if you're looking for Paul's best bets, those are his premium plays, and you can access them at Tony'sPicks.com right now by clicking the link in the description. Then over on the All Cappers tab, click it, and you'll find his page there. Get signed up, and of course, use a promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off. He's got best bets going off, a best bet going off today with a game kickoff in a couple hours. Also, a lot of best bet here for tomorrow's action plays as well from the Champions League. So get signed up. The long-term passive will serve you as well. Access the page. Click the link in the description. Then the All Cappers tab. Get signed up. And don't forget the promo code TonyT, and you'll save 20% off. All right, that'll do it here for this edition here. Sopic Silly, guys. Make sure you join us again tomorrow live here, 2:15 Eastern time. More live free picks here from Paul here on our show. Make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications, be live. If these games go off the same day, you want to get them. Not miss out on a play, of course, from our expert handicapper, Paul Legredo. So that's going to do it here for tonight's show, guys. We'll go ahead and wave goodbye to you guys. You guys make it a winning night, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow live at 2:15 Eastern time.